Welcome to Board Game Archaeologists. We play time-worn games from the past. I'm Hunter,
I'm Rob.
and today we're looking at Skunk.
Skunk from Schaper, 1953. I think there's multiple different versions out on this one, but ours says 1953. Made for 1 to 8 players. We'll get to that in a minute. And ages pretty much anybody. It says it's a fun party game for all ages.
And the goal of the game is to get to 100 or more points and then outpoint everyone else by the end of that round.
Yep. And with what you get in the game is you get a cool skunk box with nice artwork on it. You get chips, and there's enough chips in the box to have 8 people, and that's why I said 1 to 8, but you can play with as many people as you want, as long as you can give out your chips to equal 50 points for each player. And you can do it where the blue is 10 each, red is 5, and whites are 1. And as many chips as you have, you can really have for playing. It also comes with the cool score sheet instructions for Skunk and some awesome dice that actually have a skunk on them.
Yeah, and as you said, everyone starts with 50 points. It's kind of a suggested number by the game, mostly because in its penalties, so like if I'm to roll and I'm to get like a skunk on like one of these, this means that not only would my series of rolls be bunk for this series, but I would have to drop 1 into like the discard pile.
Also, if you get a skunk and a 2, you have to do 2. Now, that doesn't keep going. It just is a deuce thing. So if you get a skunk and a 2, you have to put 2 in, and you lose your points for that. Just that series only, not the entire game. Now,
Getting 2 skunks, though, will wipe your score completely from that game that you're playing. So even if you're on round 7, if you roll 2 skunks, your entire score is wiped.
and you're putting 4 into the kitty.
However, it's not all bad just because it is a very, very luck-based game in the sense that so long as you don't get a skunk in those rolls, you can roll as many times as you want. It just depends on whether you want to risk that 1 in 6 chance of hitting a skunk.
Right. And you'll see when we do our example play how that can really be affected. All right. So when you start playing skunk, basically you pick who gets to go first. And Hunter got to go first last time, so I'm going to go first this time. I'm going to roll. And I got great numbers. I got a 12. Now, I can stop now, keep my 12, or roll again and hope I don't get skunked. So I'm going to risk it. We're going to put 12 on my piece of paper, but before we do, all right, I got another 7. So 12 plus 7 makes 19. So I'm going to stop. I feel that that's a pretty safe number. I don't want to lose that. So we'll put 19 down for me. Now Hunter's turn.
And then I'll pick up. And then so I start off with a 5. And knowing that he just got a 19, I feel like I have to risk it. I'm going to go for it. And then I got a 7, and I'm going to risk it again. And see, you can just keep going as long as you get numbers. So long as it's not a skunk, you can just keep going. And hopefully I can hit 100 or a skunk.
Up until here, he had 24. And he could have stopped at any time. But he got a skunk. So you have to pay 1 chip in because you did not get a deuce and you only got 1 skunk. But he loses all the points that he got before that just in this round. So the next round would be for me. I got a double skunk. So that's 4 points right away, and I lose all of my points. So that just means I'm starting over from scratch.
We both are starting over from scratch now.
So now it's like a brand new game, and the winner goes up to 100.
Yeah, and the winner doesn't have to stop at 100. For example, if it's a close game, it's more beneficial to hold on to your score because it's not a matter of reaching 100 and then the game stops. The game stops when the person with the highest score chooses to make that the goal, and then each player gets 1 extra attempt to better that goal.
So there's a possibility if I'm already at 98 that if Hunter's at 110 or just at 100 and I score something low and call it, I could beat him. So I like that. That's kind of gives that 1 extra chance and gives that reason to keep the game going a little bit longer.
And as you've seen, you can roll and consecutively not get the skunk for a long time. So, like, it's not impossible to come back from some insane stuff. And that's more or less how the game is played.
Yeah, it's a super easy game, and it's really how lucky do you feel, you know? One thing I think that would be really easy getting into our pros and cons, I think this is made for money. You could easily switch this out to $1, where these are dimes, nickels, and pennies if you want to play a friendly game, or you could change it to dollars if you want to play a little more unfriendly game, I guess.
But and you can kind of assign value however you want, where it's like they just have like suggested numbers to use and all of it. It's a very you can personalize the game a lot.
It is. It's an easy game. It's got a skunk on the cover.
Yeah, it's multifunctional. It's for everybody.
It is.
Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about us, check us out at toyarchaeology.com. You can also find us on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.